You are watching the best of The Alex Jones Show, weekdays from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Central. Watch live at Infowars.com/show or become a member of InfoWarsNews.com and help us take resistance to the next level.
You know, it's funny. I was talking to Chris Jordan about him doing a news report because he's an eloquent, smart guy, instead of just running the board in there, which is an important job as well. I say just running the board and finding all the news and pulling up whatever I talk about. But he was pointing out that used to Congress was barely paid enough to even buy their lunch. And then you want to go back to your farm or back to your business. It was an honor to help the country to go serve and then go back, not to be red carpeted and private jetted and be exempt from all the laws you push on the public like Obamacare. Well, CNN is now reporting petition calls on Congress to give up their paychecks. I think that's a great idea. You know, I love how Dianne Feinstein went to Congress with less than $1 million, and she's worth over $100 million now. Her husband got billions from contracts government gave her that she even voted on. It's time to call these people out. I mean, this is a ruling establishment totally disconnected from reality. And I was saying he should do a report on that, dovetailing the statistics and historical facts of what they used to get paid. So maybe we'll have that sometime next week. Let's go ahead and go to Ramon in Florida. Thanks for calling. Thanks for holding. You're on the air.
What's going on, Alice? The reason why I'm calling today is because, you know, like a lot of things in our world, people seem to nitpick about every little thing about a person, especially in our movement, because everybody tries to find any little one thing about you that's wrong or me that's wrong or, you know, David Icke or whoever, and then say, see, that's the reason why we can't trust this person. He sells whatever you sell on your website, DVDs, medicine, whatever.
Well, obviously, I got to sell stuff to fund my operation. Again, that's another cop-out. The media, most of them get government funds and government and corporate contracts that were gotten from government funds, from taxpayers. We're free and independent, openly financed, openly where we get our money. And then it's like, ooh, he sells stuff. Of course I'm not a communist. But listen, the average weak-minded person always complains about anybody trying to fix things, because it's easy to complain instead of actually trying to fix things.
See, but I notice it's a lot bigger than that. Yeah, we could say every few people is the average, you know, not informed person who's just not sure about the things we're saying, and they don't just want to be listening to anything everybody says and just go along with it. And that's cool. But I've noticed it's like what you taught me about a few years ago listening to your show, COINTELPRO. I had never heard about the counterintelligence program until I ran into your show. And then I started to research it and realized, like, hey, these tactics are being used today to divide our movement and even our own communities and our homes, because these tactics are used to divide people amongst things that really shouldn't matter. The things that do matter, they push them to the side. They try to get you to not focus on that and try to worry about things like sexuality or religion, or, you know, if everything I say is true and, you know, you can verify it. That's not the point. What this whole movement is about, people, is about enlightening people, opening their eyes to empower.
Exactly. It's not about believing what Alex Jones says. It's about realizing there's a bigger world going on. There is manipulation, and become aware of it, and then discover what's worked historically versus the tyranny that we're going under. And look, exactly, it's classic government divide and conquer to always attack those that are trying to promote liberty. And that's what they do. That's what Cass Sunstein at the White House said. They would pose as, quote, conspiracy theorists, people that question, and then cause infighting. Any media person online that spends more than 2% of their time infighting or talking about anybody else bad is an operative. And most operatives spend most of their time doing it. And it comes out later that they are operatives. That's what they're there to do. The globalists have controlled the mainstream media for a long time, but now they're expanding, making the weaponization even more vicious and deceptive. All the major networks are state-run.
We are partnering this year with the NFL.
The NFL has become a political weapon against the Second Amendment and pushes Obamacare. MSNBC tells us that our children belong to the state.
We have to break through our kind of private idea that kids belong to their parents or kids belong to their families, and recognize that kids belong to whole communities.
The brainwashing media machine has been turned burned up on high, and it's time for humanity to double down on the true people's media and strike back against the tyrants that are destroying our civilization with their lies and fraud. We are the resistance. You are the resistance. You are the info war. It is more important than ever to realize that we are not the alternative media. We are the true media. The establishment dinosaur press is dying.
We are in an information war, and we are losing that war.
Join us at InfoWarsNews.com and PrisonPlanet.tv. Members can share their memberships with up to 11 people. By subscribing, you will literally be buying war bonds in the info war to expand our operation in the face of the tyrants. Join us at PrisonPlanet.tv.